Hi, everyone online. Hi, everyone in person. It's good to see you all. I thought maybe today, if I get a thumbs up, we would work on softening through the throat and the chest, shoulders, work for people, kind of soften all of this and work on strengthening all of this. So strengthening your back and your core a little bit. Yeah, and softening. That's thumbs up. Let's do it. All right, we'll start on our backs. So if you're at home and you have a chair, of course, you could sit in a chair. You can lie on your back with your knees bent. You could also, if it's just more comfortable for you, just find good old fashioned crisscross applesauce sitting on the floor as well. So giving yourself a few moments here in this shape to take a few breaths. Drawing your awareness into your body. And as you draw your awareness into your body, noticing what feels good today, what feels strong. Maybe noticing what feels a little more relaxed and easeful. And settling into those places of resource, of strength, of ease. Bringing some relationship into those places with your breathing. We'll pause for about 5 breaths. And as we breathe into these places of comfort and ease and strength in our bodies, let's also practice some gratitude, showing appreciation for these areas that help provide support and stability and strength. Taking a couple breaths of gratitude into our bodies. And then following 2 breaths. With your next exhale, you can be seated or you could be lying back. We're going to cross your arms and bring your hands to your collarbones. So just right there on the front part tips of your collarbones, you could go out a little wider towards the shoulder armpit area. And letting your hands soften. And just noticing and feeling your breath here for a few moments. And feeling what these bones do when you take an inhale. And what these bones do when you exhale. And then sliding your hands, you might uncross to the back of your ears. And then from the back of your ears, you can feel this big rope-like muscle. And then just trace this rope-like muscle down through your neck into your collarbone area, to your sternum area. And so this big rope-like muscle oftentimes is quite tight and tense in a lot of our bodies. And so as you maybe feel this muscle, you could give it a little rub massage if that feels comfortable and okay to you. And this muscle connects from the ear, the back of the ear, the skull down. to this collarbone, breastbone area. So when we inhale and the collarbones slide up, you can feel how the collarbones lift up closer to your ears, your shoulders lift with the inhale. This muscle contracts and tightens. And when we exhale, the collarbones release down out of the ears, and these muscles elongate. They get long and kind of stretched out from the breath. They have an eccentric contraction. So as you inhale, they shorten and tense. And as you exhale, they lengthen. And it might feel like you're getting a little stretch. So I'm going to take 3 more full commitment exhales with a little more intention to lengthen and try and let go of some tension in these neck muscles. So feeling your breath, breathing in, breathing out. And then with your next exhale, slide your left hand over onto your right pec, chest, armpit. And then if you're sitting, take your arm out in front of you. And if you're on your back, take your right arm up to the ceiling. Take 2 breaths, just noticing the breath underneath your left hand. And then with your next inhale, opening the arm out to the side towards the floor or just out to the side. And exhale, pulling the arm up to the ceiling or back in front of you. 2 more times. Can you try and keep that shoulder down out of the ear? You might feel the shoulder blade moving. Little less tension in the neck as we open the arm now out to the side or to the floor. Try and just let your arm hover off the floor and take 2 exhales into your left hand. Remember, when you exhale, those neck muscles lengthen. Shoulders draw down. I'm going to draw the right arm all the way back and cross the right hand over the left pec and take the left arm out in front of you or up towards the ceiling. And then with an inhale, opening the arm. Exhale, closing or bringing the arm back to the ceiling or out in front of you. A little more challenging to move from the feeling or the sensation of your breath. The next time the left arm is open towards the floor or out to the side, just pause and take a couple moments to breathe into the right hand, noticing what you feel there. And reminding yourself as you exhale, the collarbones draw down out of the ears, giving the neck a little length and release. And then the left arm comes back. Great, and then both arms either come right out in front of you or up towards the ceiling. And then with an exhale, we're going to draw the arm bones back into the socket, retract the shoulder blades. So kind of give the shoulder blades a little squeeze. And then we're going to go the opposite way. Just reach up towards the ceiling or out in front of you. Protract, feel the shoulder blades get a little wider on your back, right? So they just go up towards the ceiling. And then you draw them straight down. So your arms stay parallel like railroad tracks. The whole exercise, you're reaching up like, oh, I really want that thing on the ceiling or out in front of you. Then you kind of grab it energetically, and then you let the arm bones draw back. And as the arm bones draw back into the floor, the shoulder socket, you might feel your blades retract, pinch together just a wee bit. And then feeling where your arm feels pretty comfortable in that socket. Draw some attention to the middle shoulder blade area, a little more like where the back of your heart might be. Just feeling the width of the back between the shoulder blades. Can you go down, pay attention, feel the width of the rib cage. We talk a lot about neutral spine, so neutral spine. I'm just going to add some strength challenges. We're just going to start by taking your arms, both arms parallel overhead towards the wall or the floor behind you, and really trying to keep the back of your heart down, back of the ribs down. Your thumbs might touch, and then you bring the arms back up towards the ceiling. 2 more. So as you stretch the arms, notice what's happening in your throat, the roof of your mouth. And then the arms come back up towards the ceiling. Let's add the legs. So bringing your knees up over your hips. Bringing your legs just a little bit straighter so you could kick your heels up towards the ceiling. Give yourself a couple moments to come back to your body, breathing. With an exhale, little different awareness. Let's shift down into engaged breathing. Pull that navel down. So navel to spine. More of that feeling of the Pilates scoop. All the limbs are up towards the ceiling. So if you were sitting, sorry, got to roll on your back. And then we're just going to stretch your right arm overhead. And without moving your spine, lower your left heel a little bit and stretch. Heel out of arm out of heel, fingers out of toes. And then take all the limbs back up. Right heel, right leg, left arm, lower, reach, stretch. Exhale, bring things back up. So we're going to go side to side here at your own pace, at your own rhythm. I'm going to roll up and just take a look at everyone here. Moving at your own pace and rhythm. Can you feel that rectangular core support the movement of the limbs? Great. One more to each side. And bring all the limbs back up and lower down. Bringing your hands back onto your collarbones. And then giving yourself a moment to intentionally find some stillness. And then feeling the nuances of your collarbones move from your breathing. 3 breaths. Okay, feeling that full exhale. Roll on over or start to roll all the way on up to sitting. We'll just do a quick wrist stretch before we come into tabletop. So find a comfortable shape. Great. And then if it works, you can have your arms, straight parallel. Or, if it works on your shoulders, you can bring them together. So we're just going to push the palms together for a moment. Try and keep, I'm going to go sideways so y'all can see, try and keep your ribs down and in and slide your elbows up a little bit. Sometimes if we take the elbows up, we'll have that tendency to push forward. And I notice your eyes soften, throat, and then you're going to peel your palms open and push up through the heels of your hands and try and pull your knuckles down. Take a couple of breaths. And then bring your hands back together. And just bring the arms down. Let's do 3 shoulder rolls, up, around, back, and down. And then going the other direction. Great, and then let's find a tabletop. So giving yourself a couple breaths to really build a nice, strong table. Looking down, feeling your hands wide, but not too wide. And you want to press a little more through your fingers so you feel a little like a suction cup through your palms. And then you can isometrically, without moving, pull your thumbs towards midline, pull your thumbs in, and just see what it feels like to push down and connect your arm bone a little more into the back of the shoulder. Okay, from here, you're going to pick up your left hand, bring it into your right armpit, and breathe into your left hand. And then bring your left hand down and bring your right hand into your left armpit and just check, right? Have you hiked your shoulders way up into your ears? Is it super tight here? Can you still feel some breath and space? Then both hands can come back down. Great, curl your toes, lift your knees just a piece of paper, and do your floating table for a moment. Arm bones connecting into the upper back. Can you feel a little more connection across the back into that place of strength? Sweet exhale, lower your knees. Walk your knees back maybe an inch. From your tabletop, try to keep table. So try to keep your spine pretty much in this shape as you start to bend your elbows, bringing your forearms a little closer to the floor. Grounding down to float the elbows back up. So finding that long, strong connection through your spine, ribs down and in, navel still to spine. So you're still really nice and strong in your lower abdominals. Next time your elbows come closer to the floor, just pause, keeping your elbows floating. Notice the strength, the feeling through your upper back, under your shoulder blades, down your triceps, all the way into your hands. So this is about waking up that connection across the back, shoulder blade area to triceps, back of the arm, all the way into the hands. Keeping that feeling of strength and awareness, knit your ribs and draw your navel up. So you're still really connected, engaged in your lower abdominals. And then just press your hips all the way back and take an extended child's pose for 3 breaths. Stretch through the front of the shoulders. So you're going to really press through your hands. Maybe feel like your fingers could reach forward as you pull your hip creases back, trying to get some stretch through the front of the armpits. Press into your hands, pull yourself back to tabletop. Curl your toes. Reset up for nice, stable, strong table. Can you feel your shoulder blades press down? Like if your shoulder blades were weights, they're going to press down and slide down out of your ears. Okay, so really strong, stable shoulder blades as you float your knees up off the floor, floating tabletop. Keep breathing, 5 breaths. From floating table, hips draw back, downward facing dog. You can stay in downward facing dog, bending your knees, really taking your hip creases back. Or if you want more movement here, go from dog to floating table to dog a few times. Just paying attention to the relationship of either holding the pose or moving and what you feel through the upper back, the neck,
the jaw, the eyes. So if you're bending and straightening, we'll do one more and we'll all end up back in downward facing dog for 2 breaths. And with your next exhale, feel your breath. When you're ready, walk your feet, your hands together, and slowly come all the way on up. Do a nice full body stretch when you come up. And exhale, let your arms come down by your side. All right, so we're going to just have a nice wide stride. Switch gears for just a little bit down into your legs. So just waking up in your sumo. So ankles, knees, hips. Okay. So hip creases, draw back a little bit. Shins come forward. Trying to keep your chest a little more upright. And then let's cross your hands again onto the front of the collarbones and do 2 more. And then as you come up, challenge yourself a little bit. So you might take a little bit of a bend in your knee, finding that center of gravity. And then we're going to bring your arms out in line with your thigh bones. Come, and you can look. We want to stabilize the shoulder a little more. So you could think of the cup of your shoulder staying a little more stable. And then we're going to move the ball of the arm around. So you're going to rotate the arms in the sockets. So can you hold the socket a little more steady and try and feel the ball moving around? If you want a little more challenge, right, go opposite directions. Staying in that place of engaged breathing, core strength, stability. Great. And then we're going to roll your arms so your palms face in. Great. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper in the sumo squat. And I'm going to lift your heels. Now, if having your heels up is too much, bring them down. Press your thigh bones out. And then bring your arms out in front of you. Clap. And then spin your arms so your thumbs face down and spread and stretch. Rotate, clap. Bring the arms back out. Good. 3 more. Try and keep your ribs down and in the whole time. Nice, strong, stable. This is harder than I thought. I just sort of made this one up. I'm like, this is kind of hard. Next time your arms go out wide, pause. Bring your heels back to come down and exhale. Sweep everything up. Great. Exhale, arms come down. Step your feet together. Ooh, give yourself a couple moments to settle into your mountain pose. Let everything rest that can rest. Maybe come back to those places of comfort and ease in your body, places of strength. Show gratitude for those places. 3 breaths. And then full exhale, we'll turn and face the front of your mat. So we'll start back at the back of your mat. Put a little extra weight into your heels, right? And then take your hip creases and draw your hip creases back a little bit to your chair squat. Sweep your arms out into parallel and up. Feel your shoulder blades slide up and pause. And then with an exhale, we're going to swing the arms all the way back. And take the arms up. And then this time we're going to sweep the arms back behind us and stand up and just pause for a moment to open up across the pec muscles, across the front of the shoulder. Try to keep the ribs down and in, engaged breathing, and then pull your arms heavy down out of your ears. Remember when you exhale, your collarbones slide down. You can let go of some grip in the neck. One inhale, one exhale. And then with your next inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to chair. Inhale through your back. Exhale, long spine, fold forward. Walk your hands, 1, 2, 3, 4. You pick downward facing dog, floating table or tabletop. 3 breaths. So find the shape and then come back into your body to feel and sense 3 breaths. And we all lower down to tabletop. Walk the knees back a little. And then from here, we're going to pull your chest forward a little bit out. So your shoulders are sliding forward over your wrists. Knit, draw your navel up, maybe do 3 push-ups. So your shoulders, right, are sliding forward. Navel to spine. After 3 push-ups, back to plank, downward facing dog or tabletop. We'll pause for a few breaths right here. You pick the place, tabletop, maybe child's pose. I'm going to be quiet so we can all hear 2 breaths. When you hear your next exhale, hands and feet walk together. Bend your knees. Exhale, come all the way on up to standing. And take your arms down by your side. Step your feet wide. Finding your pelvis. Right? Can we stabilize the pelvis? So just like we were trying to get the arm to move in the socket, try to get your legs to move in your hip sockets. All right. So I'm going to try and stabilize the pelvis. Lift your left heel. And roll your left leg in a little bit. And then roll your right leg out and line up your heels. And give yourself a full breath to connect your legs into the earth. And then lift your left arm. It's going to swing out and lift up. And we're going to pause right here. Anchoring into that left heel, lift, 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 lift up. Now, when you lift the left arm, everyone check in. What's happening in your neck, in your shoulder? Is it really tight and crampy? Can you use some breath work? Let go of some tension in the left side of the neck, even though your left arm's up, your shoulder blades sliding up. Can you find space? And then exhale. With the next exhale, bend your right knee. And then we're going to tip at the hip and bring your right hand or your right elbow to your right thigh bone and build your side angle. Strong legs connecting into the earth. Press that right forearm down to lift across your chest, to lift across your upper back. Good. With your next exhale, feel and go, there's my exhale. Come all the way on up. Straighten your legs, rotate them. Stabilizing the pelvis a little more, lift your right heel. Feel how your right leg rolls. Feel how your left leg rolls. Pause to stabilize the legs. Great, right arm's gonna swing forward like an arm handshake up. Press into that right heel and slide the ribs. Right, there's gonna be more space. Slide the shoulder blade up and pause. Notice what's going on in your neck. Is it possible to slide that shoulder blade up without tensing in your neck and your jaw? I don't know. Let the left knee start to bend. Check that you can still see your left big toe. And then tip. Elbow or hand comes to that thigh bone and you push that elbow, thigh bone, hand down to really lift up, to create space and length across the upper back. Can you feel the back of your heart as you take 3 breaths? Shoulders exhale down out of your ears, release the collarbones. Come all the way on up. Great, one more time. Feel how your left leg rolls all the way in. Your right leg rolls out. Ground through the legs, bend your right knee. It's going to add on this time. Left arm swings up. Find your anchor, find your roots. Look down, see if you can see your right big toe. Tip on over. Elbow to knee. If you want a deeper hip challenge, you can straighten your right arm. Now, this left arm's got to lift up. Shoulder blades exhale out of your ears, and you might take the left arm back a little bit behind you. So you're opening across this front pec without pushing your rib cage forward. So try and keep your ribs down and in, navel to spine, 2 breaths. And we're going to come to warrior 2. Give yourself 2 breaths. More like the arms are connecting through the back, shoulders out. And then exhale, sweep it all up. Right leg rolls in. Can you feel your left leg roll out? Hands to your hips. Bend your left knee, ground first. Look down, see your left big toe. What does that feel like? Do you feel your left big toe anchored? Right arm swings forward and up. Okay, as you anchor and slide that right shoulder blade up, what's happening in the neck and the jaw? Okay, tipping when you're ready, a hand, elbow to the knee, or maybe straightening the left arm. Ground down and lift. Can you feel space across the back of your heart? Remember when we're on the floor? We're taking the back of the heart into the floor. Maybe the right arm draws back and you open across the pecs a little more. Knit, navel to spine. Exhale when you're ready. Come up, warrior 2. Arms connect into shoulder blades. Can you feel the back of your heart extend out under the shoulder blades, through the triceps, through the arms? Lift the spine nice and long. Exhale, straighten the legs, sweep the arms, rotate the legs in, wide leg forward fold. Pull the hips way back. Now, as you pull the hips or hip creases way back, try to keep some weight out in the balls of the feet. And just take a nice wide leg forward fold, check in. This isn't too much for your low back or your hamstrings. Tuck your chin. Look behind you, 2 breaths. And then we do a little yoga crawl, hands to the front of the mat, feet to the back, downward facing dog. Staying here or coming down to your knees, maybe pulling your shoulders forward. You could stay in this shape here or add some push-ups. Yeah, so you could stay here. You could push up. Then we push all the way back to tabletop. Little more challenging, floating table or straight arm plank for about 30 seconds. So you're pushing the earth away in whatever shape you're in, navel to spine. Strength through the back body. Can you connect to feel strong through the back body? Even in tabletop, we need the strength of the back. Exhale back to table. We're going to come all the way down onto your bellies. Woohoo! You survived plank. And then we're going to just stack your forearms, tuck your chin, and bring your forehead down. Soften underneath your armpits. From your armpits, softening through your collarbones towards your sternum. How close can you get your chest to the floor? Exhale, softening, lengthening those tight neck muscles. And then reaching your legs really long and grounding through your pubic bone. So can you feel that pubic bone out to your pelvic crest, helping to anchor? Navel to spine to support the low back. And you're going to press your arms down and lift your chest. Stretching across the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, lift. And then lower. You could stay here, or if you want a different challenge, take your arms out like goalposts. And you're gonna kind of have a wider goalpost if you're really tight across the front shoulders. You might have a little narrower if you're not as tight. So you know your arms are gonna move, okay? So we're gonna press down into the palms, start to lift the chest and maybe lift your elbows, knit the ribs and maybe lift up. Pull your navel up, 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 up. And then nice and slow, paste your chest all the way back down. Okay, kind of adjust the arms where you might need them to be to support this. You can always bring them back to elbows underneath your forehead. So you push into your palms, start to peel the chest up, peel the elbows up, navel to spine. And you want to feel your arm bones drawing back. So it's like you're pulling yourself forward and lowering back down. Try two more. On your second one, hold. And you want to feel like you're pulling yourself forward, shoulders down out of your ears. Scoop your belly. Maybe float your legs up. Everyone has their shape. And then let it all go. And you can bring your hands underneath your forehead and just rest and take a few breaths. Just coming back here to your experience. As you come back to breathing into your body, coming back to those places of support and strength, what feels comfortable, what feels strong, what feels relaxed. And then with a full exhale, we're going to roll onto your back. So coming onto your back, let's just take a full body stretch. So just stretching your arms way over, extending out your heels. And then when you're ready with an exhale, pull your knees in and see how small you can feel pulling your knees in. You might lift your head, you might not. Just kind of coming into a little peanut shape. And then go really long again. And then one more peanut shape. And when you get to this peanut shape, hold on to the back of the legs and stretch your legs up and see if you can roll up to sitting a little bit. Maybe roll over to the side. Figure out how to come on up to sitting. Great. And then we're going to stack your shoulders, your ribs, and your hips. So you have, right, some symmetry. And we're just going to take your left arm out and see if you can cross your arm without your shoulder. So try to keep your shoulder symmetrical with your right shoulder and just swing your arm. Okay. And then, so there's not rotation. We're not doing this yet. You're just taking your arm over. And then you're going to reach that arm. So you get some protraction in the shoulder blade. And then you take the shoulder over and twist to the right. Anchor through the sit bones to lift the spine. And then as you exhale, see if you can feel the shoulders again, relax down with the collarbones out of the ears. So as you exhale, neck lengthens, softens. Maybe feel that all the way through the jaw into the face. And then come back around to center, bring your right arm. Shoulder blades on your back. Shoulders stacked, ribs, hips symmetrical. So as you take your right arm across, feel your shoulder blade move on your back. And stretch. Try to keep your shoulders, your ribs and your hips in symmetry. Great. Then the shoulder goes around and the right hand maybe comes to the left knee. Careful not to overstretch the neck, finding that revolve on the left side. Exhale, soften the neck, the chest, the heart space. 2 breaths. When you sense, feel your next exhale, spin back to center. So we interlace your hands. See my thumbs, they're gonna stay down. So you're gonna try and get your thumbs together and pull them down and push out through the palms. And then you rotate and take the palms up to the ceiling, but pull the thumbs down. So your thumbs are pulling down as your palms go up. And then we keep the ribs down and in, and we try to lift up a little more through the back of the rib cage. 2 breaths. And then let the arms come all the way down. And then reconnect in your own understanding, in your own way to stillness, slowing down again. Intentionally holding your body still so we can feel the breath move the body. Notice the sensations you feel with your inhale. Notice the sensations you feel with your exhale. And we always take the last couple minutes for self-care. So give yourself a moment to check in with how you're feeling and doing. You know, what do you have going on the rest of the day? How can the just 2 minutes even help benefit, you know, the rest of your day? So maybe you want to lie back. Maybe you want to do some stretching. You might use your breath as an anchor for meditation. So many possibilities. We have 2 minutes for self-care. We'll take these 2 minutes in silence and then we'll be back to close class.
Just letting go, that practice of just let that go and come back to your body breathing. Feeling your inhale, feeling your exhale. When you feel your next exhale, if you're on your back, slowly drawing your knees into your chest. And then we'll slowly all roll on up to sitting. And then we'll take 3 breaths as gratitude meditation, finding 2 or 3 things you're extremely grateful for and taking a breath for each one. And with your next exhale, if you haven't already, letting your eyes open. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks so much for showing up and being part of our community online and in person. It's fabulous to have you here. See you Friday. Thank you.